We are testing today. Okay, so usually I do this the next day, but we're doing it right now. We're doing it today because I'm inspired. So we're going to start off at 11 o'clock from 11 o'clock this morning and see what Poet does, how it does it on today's market. Okay, so we're being fully transparent here. We're doing playback. This is market replay. And with $100,000 in cash value right here on NinjaTrader, all right? So we're just going to deploy Poet. Right now, it is disabled. We're going to go ahead and enable our strategy. And then we're going to go through the settings. So I like to start at 11 o'clock. I tell everybody to start at 11 o'clock. But I've got some secret things we're working on that are going to make it to where it doesn't matter what time you start. Poet's going to be making the calls the entire time on whether to trade or not. All right. So let's go ahead and check her out. We're going to go ahead and send it. We're going 100x here, as you can see, and we are waiting for Poet to take a trade. We're risking $250 per trade. It's not going to trade in the chop like that. All right, so now we're in. It's trailing. Okay, cool. We're going 1.5R, because it's August and it's just kind of choppy. Usually, we'll go 3R on trades, but because it's August, we're just kind of trailing a little tighter. We're doing everything a little tighter. Okay, we have a floor. $139. We can't go below that on a trade at this point. $139, it'll flatten at that. Now, you might get some slippage in there and commissions or whatever, but it'll flatten. Now at 145 is the floor. Day high at 611. 152 is the floor. What are we looking at? Let's go to accounts. All right, we're 344 up right now. 699 up. Our daily profit cap is set at $1,000. That is usually I like to. That's a 4R return. Usually I like to set it at 750. If we're risking 200 because 3R right now in this market is just better. Are we gonna go? We went. All right, so TP on that one. Okay, let's see where else we're gonna hit. Oh, daily cap is hit. Look at this. Okay, dude, daily cap is hit. Poet version 1.3. 699 with unrealized at 302. It's $999.50 between 11 a.m. and 1:24 p.m. So within a couple hours, we made $1,000. Again, this does not happen every day. It can happen almost any day. But this is how Poet is designed. It's designed to where once it's in a trade, it follows that trade until fruition, good, bad, or ugly. And we can set all of these parameters in here. We teach you how to do that inside of SWATrade. The link is in the description if you want to learn how to do that. This is the work. This is the culmination of what it is that we've been doing here for years in SWATrade. I've been teaching people how to day trade, and now we're automating the methodology. And what people don't see, what's going on behind the scenes, is bias filters, is GEX, gamma, right? To be able to see, we're looking at the deltas. We're looking at so many different things. We're looking at ATR. We're looking at ER. We're looking, all these different things are going on in the back of Poet to get it to where it decides to take trades or not. That's currently in the works for the most part. Right now, this is what people aren't seeing. This is the back end that nobody is seeing but me and a select small group. And it's not because I'm trying to hide IP. I don't believe in trading. There's a lot of IP left. But what we're seeing is that you can tilt things into your favor if you understand how the market works. So basically, we're going off of the fact that market makers are trading options, and they have to push, for lack of a better term, I don't want to say manipulate, but they have to push the underlying assets to make the options go in their favor, right? Believe it or not, this is completely legal. So therefore, we're looking at that. Where are they pushing? And what does the order flow look like? That all goes into what it is we're designing here and what it is that we're seeing in Poet to be able to make a decision on what bias it should have and whether or not it's actually going to get in the market. I mean, if we're looking at positive gamma, then we're going to be, you don't have to know what this means, by the way. It's just option stuff. But if we're looking at what we call positive gamma, that means that it's pushing against each other and there's not going to be a whole lot of movement. Negative gamma means it's going to be breakouts in one direction or the other. So when we're looking at this, we're looking at negative gamma, okay? And we're looking at, like this would be positive gamma. Right here, we're looking at negative gamma. So we're looking at a breakout, a market movement, all right? So we're looking at a movement in one direction. And that's all it takes because the opportunities are then presented. And once the opportunities are presented, then we can take advantage of those opportunities, right? What we have to do is be able to incorporate that with bias, and you see how it works out. So once you have that, once you have, your bot looks at it and says, okay, we're constantly making lower highs and lower lows, and we have this other stuff going on with the MACD and other indicators, and we say, okay, this is where we know that it's going in this direction. We're only going to trade in that direction. You see, so once it does that, once it starts breaking new lows and stuff like that, and breaking old lows, then it's giving the bot that information that it needs to be able to decide which trades it should take and which trades it should not take. That way, like right here, we don't get hit with a pullback. Of course, right here, it was already in a trade, so we wouldn't have taken this trade anyway, right? But sometimes, if it's not already in a trade and it sees a bullish fair value gap on a downtrend, well, that's not good. We don't want that trade, So we have to have Poet understanding that it needs to go south, that it's only taking bearish trades. Now, the good thing about this is not the fact that we make, $999, which is excellent, by the way. That's excellent for just letting the bot do its thing. But the idea is that we copy trade it across multiple accounts, that we say, okay, we have this operating right now on one account, which is great, but we can put that into Trade Copia, we can put that into Replicanto, and have it to where it multiplies that one trade, it multiplies every trade across 10, 20 accounts, which we have people doing. So when we look at this, we say to ourselves, $1,000 is good. If we can put that on 5 accounts, $5,000 is great. Put that on 20 accounts, well, that's excellent. So what you don't want to do is risk all 20 accounts at once, right? Because you have 20 accounts. And now look, if you got 40, 50 accounts, sure, put 20 accounts, on one trading methodology and then do it again on another one. But if you make $1,000 on one account and you copy it to 20, that's 20 grand. Is that typical of everyone that's doing this? No, not right now. It's not, but that's where we're headed. That's the goal here. I want all of my students, all of my clients to be able to do this. And of course, this isn't for, I'm not treating this as an appliance. Okay. This is not a toaster. You don't plug it in and just make an automatic money machine. That's not what this is. Trading has risk. And you can lose money trading, and this is no different. Even though we're using prop firms and you're not risking your own capital, you can still lose money on your prop firm accounts, right? So there's nothing guaranteed about this. This is just for people that respect the game, want to stay in the game. Maybe you want to retire. Maybe you want some more time freedom. Maybe you want to set up legacy for your family, and you want to be able to fund that legacy. And I'm not talking about make a bunch of money trading, put it into an account, and leave it to your grandkids. Sure, do that if you can. But what I'm talking about is creating real financial assets that make it to where your grandkids or your children don't have to start over in life every single generation. That is the biggest problem that I've seen in the world is people, at least in first world countries, let's say, people make it to where they work, they, get some money, leave it to their spouse when they die, especially men, leave it to their spouse when they die, maybe some life insurance, and then their kids have to start over with a new career, find a property to buy, have car notes and all this stuff, and pay banks. It's not supposed to be this way. You should be able to have a policy that allows you to borrow from yourself. And this is where I've been a retirement planner for years. I've been doing this for years now, but we're going back into a family office of retirement planning where it's not just retirement planning, it's legacy planning. I've done retirement planning before, we're going into legacy planning, and my goal is to be able to use Poet to fund people's legacies. That's what I want for Poet. When people make money with Poet, they can put it into that legacy plan, which is just going to multiply and compound and multiply and compound. Poet can absolutely be used as a compounding instrument, as a compounding tool for larger accounts. Absolutely it can. Right here today, we're risking $250 per trade, but let's go ahead and run it at, let's say you want to compound, okay? So we'd be risking more than $250 per trade, depending on the size of your account, obviously. You don't want to risk more than 1% of your account per trade, but let's go ahead and say, we're just going to put this let's put it at 10,000, okay? So we're putting it at 10,000, and we're going to risk, 2,500 per trade, because let's say you have a $250,000 account, and it's just going to show you that you can do this with this machine. Now, this was only 3 trades today, and we're going 1.5R on these trades today. Again, this is not guaranteed. You can lose money trading, all that stuff. So we're going to go ahead and take our slider. I'm going to put it back to, hopefully it works with me here. It's been messing up a little bit. Oh, the joys of being live. Yeah, so I'm going to have to click on connections here, click disconnect, go back to playback, continue. And we're going to put it back on the 17th, which is today. All right, and then we're going to take our slider. We're going to move it back up to around 11 o'clock, close enough. Strategies, playback. All right, so we're going to go ahead and send it from right here. And we'll speed it up for you for brevity. Let's go 100x, just so we can see how it operates. Now, I don't know if this is going to, worse than $2,500 per trade. I might have messed something up. I may have. We'll have to see. All right. P&L is high, 36.90 right now, P&L. See, I still have one. I think I still had 1,000 daily loss. So if it would have gone, if that first trade would have gone negative, I should have moved that daily loss cap to 10,000 as well. But look right here, we have a floor. Our floor is 1604 right now. So this shows you how it can be used to do growth. So our floor is now 1830. Daily high, we're at 7320. Guys, I'm doing this every day, so this is not like it's cherry picking, okay? It's some days it struggles. I'm not gonna, BS you or anything. I mean, some days it struggles. And with where we're at right now, okay, we already hit. All right, cool. Same 3 trades, which makes sense because all we did was multiply it out. So 10,023. It's about the size of your account. So if you have a larger account and you can risk more and you don't need to use a prop firm, whatever, have at it. You can actually change this to a percentage-based trading opportunity to, grow a personal account. Because right now I have it set on dollars, but I can set it on percent. Okay, and so when percent, I can risk 1%, and that'll give me 1% of the account balance. All right, so it will calculate out 1% of the account balance, purchase that many contracts, or put that many contracts in the order, and then trade from there. And that way, as your profit, or as you earn money, as you profit here, then you'll see how it can actually compound on its own. You see, so that's the beautiful thing about it, is that it will compound on its own if it's making money. All right, so let's go ahead and slide her back here. And I don't even know, because this is a 100K account, as I said. So let's see how many contracts it actually decides to purchase on the 100K account, or how much money it's going to make. All right, let's go ahead and send it from there. And we'll see how much money it's going to make on the risking 1%. Okay, 5 contracts. 5 contracts up. All right. Let's see here. So it's 430 on that one trade. And these are micros. These aren't minis. So being that we're using percentages now, if we're risking 1% per trade on average, then we should, and we get, 4R in a day, then we're getting 1.5 R per trade. So we should be getting around 4.5% gained on the day, which is crazy. But that's this style of trading for you. I mean, you're risking 1% of trade, and you're making 2% on a win, and then you just use probabilities, and we just happen to be in an environment where it keeps moving in our favor, tagging us in, and winning. But that does not happen every single time, I promise you. So it's going to keep on going here. Now we're up to 1334. I did not change the target, so that's on me. Let's see if it implements anything new here. And it doesn't seem like it wants to, and that's all the data that I have for today, because I only got it until 2 o'clock for the market replay data. So you see here that we're at 1334 on a 100K account. So that's 1.3% so far that it has gained in just a few trades. But that's one day. That's one day. Now, it's only risking 5 contracts here. It could do more than that. If you made this smaller, if you know, there's a couple of tweaks that you can put in here. Let me try that and see if it changes it at all. Right now, we're going on the first candle wick. Let's go on FVG wick because that looks like it. We have one of my clients is trading that today. It's trading just like that. So we're going to set that up here. And you know, if you're trading to grow an account, I wouldn't put in a daily profit target. You know, if you're trading to grow an account, I would just have it trading you know, like it's supposed to. And we have the profit targets for consistency rules within prop firms, but you don't have to use that. All right, let's see here. Okay, it looks like we're good. We're armed. We just changed where the stop loss is going to go, is what we did. I'm going to increase the speed a little bit for brevity. All right, good to go on that one. The trail gives it a little bit of room, and you can change that trail to whatever you want. Trail gives it a little bit of room. See that the 5%, or the 5%, oh sorry, the the 5 contract is I don't see it as being detrimental, but I don't see it as being like a real big win either. Okay, took that one. Good. Okay, so that we ended up at 1817. Yeah, 1817.50 on that one. So not too shabby, not bad. Pretty decent, you know. And so it's 1.8% on here. Let me check this and see if there's a reason why it would be capping us at 5 contracts. Because it seems kind of low. Max contract's 50. All right. So I don't think there's I think that's just what it is because of the size of the account. Is that it's allowing to risk 5 contracts. Because we're only risking 1%. So if we're only risking 1% and it could do more contracts, and it, you know, 6 contracts would be a little more. But yeah. Anyway, this is how Poet works, man. This is how Poet works, and this is how it's designed. And I'm glad for you to be here with me and be a part of it. If you have any questions, you can always click the link in the description. Be glad to get back to you. You know, comment, you know, have a question in the comments. It's fine. We want this to fund your life, you know, and every time I want to just keep it for myself, I always talk myself out of it. I really want to help other people with their financial situations, to be able, you know, that single mom, right? People think I only work with men. That's not true. That single mother that needs something like this, that wants to understand trading. Again, I'm not selling a toaster. I'm not selling an appliance. This isn't for great grandma who needs extra money. You know, I want you to learn how to trade with SWATrade so you can understand what this thing's doing before you get into this, you know. And but this is for the gentleman that or the lady that wants to stay in the game, you know, that wants to be in the game, doesn't want to you know, really retire, because I can't tell you legally, I can't even tell you that this will you just plug it in and it spits out money. You know, you have to have a little bit more going on up here, and you have to want to participate in it. You want to, you know, have to want to be in it. So anyway, glad to have you here. Take care. God bless.